Previously on A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Brah! Who murdered my wolf bestie?
You! Over here. I did it. It was me.
Brah!
Huh?
Oh, well, you don't say. So, our treaty states a life for a life and all, but not exactly how. So, you can be torn to shreds now, or live in fairyland in the lap of luxury with me for the rest of your days.
Huh? Why?
No need to question my generosity, human!
Oh. Okay, I guess I'll go live with you then. Later, guys. Good luck not dying without me. Bye! The beast and Feyre cross to the line of trees that mark the forest where there's a majestic white mare awaiting them. The beast motions for Feyre to mount it, and they continue their trek. A lot of this chapter consists of Feyre's internal monologuing as they travel. Neither one of them are much for conversation. It's just walking in awkward silence for some pages. Thank God we have Feyre's repetitive musings to pass the time. Feyre knows that the treaty forbids human enslavement, but she murdered a fairy, so the same rules might not apply to her. The moment she crosses the border wall, she'd be little more than a lamb in a kingdom of wolves. Wolves? Wolf. Damn, the publishing industry wants to cut corners so bad it's got the actual main character editing herself in real time now. Y'all are in dire straits, holy hell. So she wonders what the beast's lands are like, as word about how the Fae live never really leads to the mortal realm, only the extent of their deadly abilities. Those who went through the wall as offerings or willing venturers never returned, so humans only had tales and legends to go by. What humans do know is that the High Fae still rule over the northern parts of the world. As our handy-dandy world map illustrates, 7 powerful godlike High Lords preside over their own areas. Though why humans still choose to live on that itty little sliver of land on the island so close to the wall, Feyre couldn't tell ya. They must have been utter fools. Especially since everyone knows about the holes large enough for creatures to slip on over and torment humans for funsies. I mean, moving ain't easy, especially for the impoverished. Feyre should know that. The two of them trek on and on. Feyre's determined to keep the beast in her sights at all time. They'd have to stop and make camp at some point, so he'll have to leave an opening where she can shank him with a smuggled knife. Feyre also wonders about her family's well-being. Have they finally realized her importance to them yet? What would her father have to do to keep her sisters alive? What about Nesta for Elaine and herself? No thoughts are spared for Elaine caring for herself or others, though. I almost pity her. Feyre stares holes into the Fae beast, determined to spot any weakness. It's still a fruitless effort. She asks what type of fairy he is, but her words are nearly swallowed up by the snow and trees and star-heavy sky. Whatever the that means? The Fae beast doesn't respond, so Feyre asks for his name.
Does it even matter to you, human?
She ruminates how the Fae beast may change his mind on sparing her, but maybe she'd somehow be able to escape, grab her family, and sail far, far away? That mercenary from town had been able to survive a fairy encounter, maybe she could too. Feyre tries to ask for the Fae beast's name again, but he growls out something that somehow smells metallic and it conks Feyre out. Time apparently passes and Feyre jolts awake. The beast had preferred to keep her magically unconscious and restrained rather than endure her ceaseless questioning. I do not blame him in the least. Since it takes 2 days to just reach the wall from Feyre's cottage on foot, she assumes that she's been out cold for a long while. She notices the mild breeze, the chirping birds, and a hedge-bordered metal gate that swings open ahead of them. Feyre can't determine if it's her prison or salvation that awaits her, but she steels herself nonetheless as they cross the threshold into the beast's domain. End of chapter. Wait, that's it? No, where's the rest of it? There are no hidden pages? Oh, well, this won't do. I can't end the video here. Okay. Alright, I may as well roll right into the next chapter and make this a 2-for-1. Hell, I'll just do that for all the short chapters from here on in. The beast's estate is covered with sprawling greenery, the very picture of spring. Yet the premises is so wholly empty and quiet, giving it more of a magical, eerie vibe than a serene one. The front doors open for the beast, and he prowls inside, leaving Feyre alone. She notices that while she is now unbound, her smuggled knife is gone. Yet, she also sees this as her opportunity to bolt. All she has to do is make a beeline southward to reach the border. Granted, she has no way of knowing which way is south in this realm that's manipulated with magic, but with enough gumption, any direction can be south, so long as she commits. If she wants to book it, it has to be now. Except, the mare doesn't budge for Feyre. When she dismounts, she wobbles about. Oh yeah, she hasn't really eaten anything since before the big guy smashed through her front door. If she tries to hobble off now, she won't get very far before collapsing or getting caught. Okay, change of plans. Food first, then running at the first opportunity. Feyre steadies herself and trudges up the steps and into the house. She's taken aback by the opulent grand foyer. She never considered how these feral monsters might own and live in estates grander than any human crib. Amidst these thoughts, a set of doors open and a low growl summons her forthwith. Before her is a long-ass dining table covered with mouth-watering dishes. All foods Feyre cannot eat, as it's the first rule to never consume their food, lest you forfeit your very being to them. A familiar myth, yes. Makes me wonder if giving the Fae your name has the same effect as well. But also, she just said how only a fool would run with no food, no strength. What was her plan if she was gonna turn her nose up at the bougie Golden Corral layout in front of her? Feyre, girl? The beast pats the head of the table, plops himself onto the chair, and transforms into his princely form. Ah, alright. I see we're forgoing any monster speeding past the Beauty and the Beast turn-off exit completely. Boo! Who seriously likes the human form anyway? But whatever. Feyre sees this transformation and stifles a cry, cause oh boy, oh great. Such shifting abilities can only mean one thing. She is dealing with a high fae. A high fae that's into the glitzy masquerade mask aesthetic apparently. Yet the rest of his attire provides a simplistic contrast. It also alludes that he may not just be a high fae, but ... a warrior too. What is with the ellipses there, girl? Empty stomach making your brain buffer? The now a guy fae person dude man first suggests, then orders Feyre to sit and eat. She inches back toward the door and declines, but he growls. Man does not have any other dialogue tag, does he? And how does a person growl in a way that's not silly? Or maybe he's got that smoker's vocal fry? Like he goes through a pack a day while no one's looking? Boy, that ain't healthy. Anyway, not a beast no more male fae guy growls. Unless you'd rather faint? Feyre insists that the food's not safe for humans, but Beast No More Man assures her that the food's edible for human consumption. He also notices her attempt to slink out of frame and is all, "You can leave if you want, I'm not your jailer. My gates are open, you can live anywhere in Fairyland." God, I am so confused with this guy's approach. Unless he's attempting some reverse psychology on her, like some parents do when their small child declares they're gonna run away from home while carrying their pink plastic suitcase stuffed with their favorite Barbies. Not speaking from experience or anything. Couldn't have been me. Feyre doesn't bite, even though she's starving, has told herself and us that she needs the energy so she could flee, but she remains steadfast in her distrust. Feyre's feet are planted. Guy Beastman growls again as he serves himself. Feyre's being cautiously obstinate here, sure, but this is also a good insight into a part of her character. See, Feyre is dumb. She may have basic street smarts and kinesthetic intelligence, but when it comes to logical reasoning or reading and comprehension, well, that's usually where the brain dribble decides to have a smoke break, which sure adds character depth. It also induces some real shake my head muttering Jesus Christ moments. But that's Feyre. Anyway, a fox-masked high fae flows into the room. He immediately asks if Andras is dead, insinuating that was the name of the wolf fae that Feyre had killed. Blonde guy replies that a special ash arrow killed him and that the treaty summons is what led him to the killer, which is interesting because I just assumed he hunted and tracked Feyre down the old-fashioned way, but I guess it's too primitive for this magical hoity-toity lot. He says he's bestowed his mercy to let her stay with them. Foxface spots Feyre across the room and is in disbelief that this scrawny toothpick of a girl did an Andress with a single ashwood arrow. Excuse you? Don't discount the swole-ass trapezius muscle she has got to have, considering she hauled a whole-ass doe across her shoulders for 15 miles barefoot in the snow. Foxface dishes out some weak trash talk, and Feyre won't stand for that. She steps further into frame, and that's it. But in the face of such a disadvantage, it speaks volumes. Foxface taunts her more. Both seem eager to throw hands, but Blonde Beast Dude Man tells Lucien to behave. Lucien introduces himself as a courtier and emissary to Feyre in a mocking manner, while she hesitates to reciprocate the introduction. Beast Be Gone interjects and does it for her. He then has his lady servant, Alice, go clean her up. I guess the whole don't eat the food or give your name myth stays as that. I didn't like mystical magic and its unique properties and rules in my fairy-based fantasy anyway. As Feyre's let out, we get an interesting tease. That's the hand the cauldron thought to deal us? He laments sending Andress out on a fool's mission and insists they should just take a stand, say enough is enough, and dump the burden of a girl who'd sooner knife us than talk to us. Beast No More says that they won't make their move until there are truly no other options. Till then, she will stay unharmed. Her life in that hovel was hell enough. Why do you care? I don't understand this sympathy for her. She killed your friend, but woe is her, huh? I gotta assume this guy's playing some sort of long con here. It's the only thing that makes some semblance of sense. That he needs Feyre here for some reason. But, he can still hold some animosity toward her for his fallen comrade. I don't really appreciate the mixed signals. Alice takes Feyre to the guest suite where she's plucked and scrubbed. When a pretty gown is laying out for her, she begs in her most sad and pitiful tone for her old clothes instead. I decry some not like other girl shenanigans, but escape is still in her mind and fleeing in a gown's not prudent, so fair enough. Feyre sits in the calm stillness of her room. The horror stories she grew up with continue to get myth-busted all around her. Everything's peaceful until Alice returns with the remaining scraps of her old clothes. Feyre slumps, still refusing the dress. Alice is probably grumbling that she's not getting paid enough for this, and she throws a basic set of tunic and trousers at Feyre. Quality of fabric is nostalgic of old, happy childhood days that she can hardly remember. But those thoughts sour when she reminds herself that the venison she prepped for her family must be running low. Alice goes to braid Feyre's hair. She quips how Feyre's all skin and bones, and hey, winter'll do that to a poor mortal. Alice huffs a laugh and responds with a warning for Feyre to keep her ears open and her loose tongue tied, as her senses would betray her here. Though the folks here might resent her for Andress, probably everyone except, blonde beast no more guy man, these folk won't betray their master's mercy. Oh, but feel free to be sassy to Lucien if you're feeling brave enough. He could use it. Feyre's mentally noted. End of chapter. Maas, be for real, girl. Chapter 5 could have been cut down and combined with 6. Compared to the last few chapters, I can tell that the pacing has mellowed. Maas really wanted us to get to Fairyland quickly. Now that we're here, she can take her foot off the gas and switch to cruise control. So the word count leans more toward repetitive internal monologues and intricate environment descriptions. And we're trapped in Feyre's M-dash and ellipsis-riddled head through all of it. Whee! Unfortunately, the next few chapters are pretty much Feyre bums around the premises, which was what caused me to put the book down in the first place, despite the chapter 10 cliffhanger. So please bear with me through Feyre's acclimating to Fairyland mini-arc. At least we'll actually learn Blonde Beast No More Guy Man's name next time. For real though, what is it with Maas's penchant for concealing major characters' names? Jeez! You think I like these nicknames? They're a tongue twister. Damn it.